What if I told you that your brain has been programmed backwards Senate for manifestation? What if the way you breathe is actually creating quantum interference that blocks your desires? Today, I'm going to share the breathing pattern that Nobel Prize-winning physicists say can restructure reality itself. You see, most manifestation techniques teach you to breathe for your desires, to visualize them as something outside yourself that you need to attract. We've been conditioned to think of our dreams as separate from us, something we must chase or pull toward ourselves. But quantum physics has revealed something incredible. When two particles become entangled, they instantly affect each other regardless of distance. What if your consciousness and your desires are already quantum entangled? This changes everything. I'm not just going to teach you another breathing technique that treats manifestation like some external process. Instead, I'm going to show you how to use quantum entanglement principles to dissolve the illusion of separation between you and what you want, making manifestation instantaneous through recognition rather than creation. Because here's the truth. You're not trying to get something you don't have. You're simply remembering what you already are. Here's what quantum physicists discovered that will blow your mind about manifestation. In the 1930s, Einstein was deeply troubled by what he called spooky action at a distance. He couldn't accept what quantum experiments were revealing about the nature of reality itself. What bothered him so much was the discovery that two particles, once they interact, become quantum entangled. This means that when you change one particle, its partner instantly responds no matter how far apart they are. We're talking about instantaneous connection across vast distances, faster than the speed of light, which Einstein thought was impossible. But here's where it gets fascinating for those of us exploring manifestation. When physicists like John Bell proved this phenomenon was real through his famous theorem, they weren't just discovering something about particles. They were uncovering a fundamental truth about the universe. Separation is an illusion. What appears to be two distinct things are actually aspects of one unified system communicating through what scientists call non-local correlation. Think about this for a moment. If you've ever felt deeply connected to a loved one and somehow sensed when something was happening to them, even from far away, you might have been experiencing this quantum phenomenon on a larger scale. The same invisible threads that connect particles across the cosmos could very well be connecting you to everything you've ever desired. Now let me share something that will completely shift how you think about your dreams and goals. When you observe one entangled particle, its partner immediately changes state regardless of distance. The moment you focus your awareness on one particle and measure it, its twin instantly knows and adjusts accordingly. There's no signal being sent, no time delay, no mechanism we can detect. Just instantaneous, perfect coordination between two aspects of what scientists now understand is really one system appearing as two. This isn't just a curious scientific fact. It's a mirror for understanding consciousness itself. When you become aware of something, you're not passively observing from the outside. You're participating in a dynamic relationship where your awareness becomes entangled with what you're observing. Your consciousness doesn't just witness reality, it co-creates it through the very act of attention. Consider what this means for manifestation. Every time you focus on a desire, you're not reaching towards something separate from yourself. You're actually recognizing a quantum entanglement that already exists. Your awareness and your desires aren't two different things trying to connect. They're entangled aspects of one unified field of consciousness, appearing as separate only because of the way we've been taught to perceive reality. This is why traditional manifestation can feel so exhausting. When you believe you're trying to attract something from out there, you're working against the fundamental nature of reality. You're creating artificial separation where quantum physics shows us unity. It's like a wave trying to attract the ocean, not realizing it already is the ocean expressing itself in waveform. Your awareness and your desires are quantum entangled aspects of one field. This means that every desire you've ever felt isn't a sign that you're lacking something. It's actually consciousness recognizing itself, calling you to remember what you already are. When you desire abundance, it's abundance recognizing itself through your awareness. When you long for love, it's love awakening to its own presence within you. When you dream of perfect health, it's wholeness acknowledging its own nature. You're literally aligning your nervous system with quantum reality. Specific breath patterns can dissolve the boundaries your mind has created between you and your desires, allowing you to experience the truth that physicists have been discovering in their laboratories. When you breathe to release separation, you're working with the same forces that keep entangled particles connected across galaxies. You're tuning your consciousness to the frequency of unity that quantum physics shows us is the foundation of reality itself. This isn't metaphor. This is practical application of scientific discovery. The ancient mystics somehow knew this truth thousands of years before we had the instruments to measure quantum entanglement. They spoke of consciousness as one field appearing as many, of the wave recognizing itself as ocean. Now, quantum physics is confirming what wisdom traditions have always taught. Separation is the illusion and unity is the truth. Before we continue, here's your first quantum secret you can use right now. Take 3 deep breaths and with each exhale say, I release the illusion of separation. You'll immediately feel a shift in your energy field. Try it now. I'll wait. As you breathe this way, you're not trying to change anything or get anywhere. You're simply allowing your nervous system to remember what quantum physics has proven. You and everything you seek are already entangled aspects of one consciousness. The shift you feel isn't imagination, it's your body recognizing quantum truth. Now here's where quantum science gets really interesting. There's actually historical proof this works. Long before Einstein was born, ancient wisdom traditions were describing the exact same phenomena that quantum physicists are discovering today. They had different words for it, but they were pointing to the same fundamental truth about the nature of consciousness and reality. And what they taught about manifestation will transform everything you think you know about how desire becomes form. What I'm about to reveal was hidden in ancient texts for over 5,000 years. And when you hear it, you'll understand why. There's a beautiful teaching story from the Advaita tradition that perfectly captures what quantum physicists are now proving in their laboratories. Picture a small wave on the ocean, feeling separate and alone, desperately trying to reach the shore. The wave believes it must struggle and push to get anywhere, completely unaware of what it truly is. One day an older wave approaches and asks, "Why are you working so hard?" The small wave replies, "I need to reach the shore. I need to become something more." The wise wave smiles gently and says, "Dear one, you are not just a wave trying to reach the shore. You are the ocean itself, temporarily expressing as a wave. You don't need to go anywhere or become anything. You already are everything you seek." This ancient story isn't just poetry. It's a precise description of quantum entanglement applied to consciousness. The wave represents your individual awareness, and the ocean represents the unified field that quantum physics reveals as the foundation of reality. When the wave realizes its true nature, it doesn't disappear. It simply stops struggling against itself. This moment of recognition is what the ancient teachers called enlightenment, and it's the same shift that happens when you understand quantum entanglement between your consciousness and your desires. The masters of Kashmir Shiaism developed incredibly sophisticated practices around this recognition, particularly through what they called divine recognition through breath. They discovered that specific breathing patterns could dissolve the boundaries between the observer and the observed, revealing what they termed spand, the creative vibration that appears as both consciousness and its expressions.